Two of the most exciting baseball clubs in South Australian baseball go head-to-head. They're also number 1 and 2 in the standings. Henley and Grange, so welcoming to host a live stream tonight. It's a top-of-the-table clash between the West Torrens Eagles and Henley and Grange Rams. Eric Balnar, Michael Dunn calling all the action for you, and look how glorious this looks nestled in between the River Torrens and the water. Two of the best teams going at each other tonight. Dunny, this is really exciting.
Yeah, these two teams have been up the top for a long time this year, and you can see there in their head-to-heads. West Torrens got over the line with the first one they played. Their last 5, they're pretty even as well. Henley and Grange lost. Henley and Grange don't tend to lose many games by many, so they're always in the games. They don't get blown out. Their pitching's good, as you can see there, with a 0.75 in the last 5 as well. So this is as tight as it gets, and these two teams will play a big part in the final series, no doubt, later in the year.
West Torrens sitting at 15-1 on 30 points. Henley and Grange at 13-4 in second on 26 points. If West Torrens win tonight, it's kind of them breaking away from the pack in that first place position. And if Henley and Grange lose, they kind of fall back in that pack of the teams battling between 2nd and 5th place. Here's a look at how Henley are going to line up defensively, and it's a really talented team all around the diamond. They've got 2 Caps medalists, the pitcher Wilson Lee, the first baseman, the reigning Caps medalist at first base, Liam Bull, an Adelaide Giant, Griff Weber, an Adelaide Giant, Jack Partington, an Adelaide Giant. There's a lot of talent. Basnoy, former ABL player, a lot of experience, and a lot of good young talent on this Henley defense.
Yeah, and they're missing Darcy Barry. So yeah, they're only going to get stronger as well as the year goes on as well. So, but there's a lot of ABL experience. There's a lot of guys that have been around a long time. So that's a strong lineup, and they'll go pretty close tonight. It should be a really entertaining game. No
team has scored more runs than West Torrens, and no team has allowed less runs than West Torrens. That's a recipe for winning baseball. That's why they're 15-1. Here's how they're going to line up tonight, at least with their batting order. Nick George leads things off. The McGarry brothers, they've been RBI machines and hit machines. Max Stagg cementing himself there. There's nobody running away statistically in this lineup, but top to bottom, they find contributors and they bring people around.
Yeah, they've got some consistency about what they do. You know, there's 3 or 4 guys there hitting in the mid 300s, so. And they're the guys you want to get to the plate and score runs for you. So, you know, it'll be harder task tonight with Willie on the hill and Basnoy behind the plate. He's been around a long time with a lot of experience and knows what a lot of these hitters do. So, again, we're expecting a close game on a Tuesday night. And, yeah, it's important for both teams that, as you said, West Torrens can really get away from the pack here and pretty much probably get pretty close to securing the minor premiership if they can get over the line tonight and moving Henley further away in the win-loss column. So
how's Wilson Lee's numbers? He's only allowed 12 hits in his 24 innings of pitch. He's only allowed a handful of runs. In fact, just 2 of them. You can count them on 2 fingers. Struck out 32. Doesn't allow a lot of base runners. Gets a lot of people out. He's also hitting well. He's hitting over 350. He joined here kind of midway through the first part of the season, and he'll be in the conversation for Caps medal again.
Yeah. This is his test tonight, though. He's playing the big boys tonight, so he certainly has to put it on the line tonight and get Henley across the line to keep them in the hunt for finishing in first place.
Just under 30 degrees. It feels a little warmer with the humidity on a beautiful night for baseball. 6 twilight games from across the diamond. Thank you so much to Henley and Grange for hosting this live stream tonight. And thank you so much for wherever you are joining us tonight. And a big shout out to ALH Group, MC Sportswear, and Century 21 Craig Moore for bringing you right here to the ballpark, bringing the ballpark to life and on your video screen.
It's great, isn't it? Here we go.
Leading things off, Nick George. He's been a spark plug for this team, especially in recent games. Nick George, since moving over to Henley and Grange. So Wilson Lee with the ball in hand delivers the first pitch of the game. Rides up a little inside for a ball, and we're playing some baseball.
Here we go.
Nick George, the shortstop for today's game. Watches one ride just over the plate. George hitting .237 on the season. He scored 16 runs, though, from the top of the order. That's the tied for second most on the team behind Nico Vanderland, and so he's getting on base and he's getting around.
Yeah, and that's his job. His job's just to get on and let the guys behind him to pick him up and score runs.
That one fouled away, so it gets a second strike on Nick George. Very strong batting team, but more impressively, they have a 289 batting average as a team, West Torrens, but impressively a 416 on base percentage. They have a lot of players in this lineup that just get walks, get on base, and they just play small ball to get them around.
And that's why they're on top.
Pretty simple equation.
Yeah. Simple game.
They field the ball pretty good, too. This is the team to beat right now in South Australian baseball. They're 6-1 versus top 6 teams this season. And true to script, Nick George gets aboard with a walk.
Yeah, a little in there on Nick George, and does the right thing as a leadoff guy, and any way he can, get on first, and now you get an opportunity to move guys over and try and pick up some early and put some pressure under the Henley Grange defense and see what they've got.
Well, Tom McGarry up to bat. He's got 3 home runs, 20 RBIs. He's right up there in terms of RBI leaders, just behind Mike Bishop on 21, who's not playing tonight. They're on the bye, Kensington. So you said it at the very beginning, Dunny, this is the biggest test so far for Wilson Lee, you'd think. They're going against the team that scores the most runs. This is why you bring a guy over for games like this.
Yeah, these are the ones he's got to win. So if they want to be any chance come finals time, these are the sort of teams they need to beat.
These are just 7-inning games or 2 hours, whichever comes first.
And the advantage you've got, you've got the Moth and McGarry guys in the lineup here too. They're both left-handed, so it makes it harder to hit. Lefty in the lineup in these situations. So he has a little bit of advantage there too.
Right pitch.
Wilson Lee making his return to South Australia after, well, he missed the COVID season. He was still in Germany. That's where he plays baseball. He plays baseball all around the year, and he's been a pretty effective baseball player, especially over with Bonn in Germany.
Good pitch.
Shout out to all the Germans. I'm sure a few of them are tuning in for the game tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. Getting behind hitters early, which, again, we talk about free bases, Eric. We talk about it every time we watch club ball because it seems to happen more than most. Is, free base to start. 3-1 here against McGarry, so it's... you don't want too many free bases, especially early. As I said, it's Tuesday night games, 7 innings, get in front. It's hard to peg him back on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, you always say these games happen quick, don't they?
Yep. And that's why you see some upsets in these sort of games, because the lower ranked teams get in front early and then the higher ranked team presses and they just keep pressing and can't get back, and all of a sudden it's over.
One minute you're in the car park, the next minute you're driving home and you've taken an L.
Yeah, correct.
Nick George going. Basnoy going to throw across, and that slips away, and Nick George gets to scamper all the way to third. He'll hold up. So West Torrens, who are as good as anybody in the competition in pressuring on the base paths, actually Henley Grange are we'll talk about them later and their stolen bases, but Nick George showing what he can do on the base.
Yeah, no, he was there anyway. I think even if he caught the ball at shortstop there. This is an interesting play. They got the infield up. I know the middle infielders go back again now, so that was an interesting call there by Hardy to play up at the top of the first.
It blows one by him, gets him to swing. Second strike on Tom McGarry.
Full count, I think. I think it's full. So it's again, it's an interesting pitch here. Again, you don't want another free bag.
Tom McGarry's only struck out 6 times. That'd be among the league leaders. Not a lot of strikeouts from some of these key hitters this season. In 66 plate appearances, or 72 plate appearances, sorry, only 6 strikeouts for Tom McGarry. Guys like Max Stagg only struck out 6 times in 66. Nico Vanderland 6 times in 59. Those are good ratios.
Yeah, they put the ball in play a lot, score a lot of runs.
Pressuring other defenses. And just long at-bats.
Yeah, making him throw a lot of pitches, which is good. That's what they want to do.
West Torrens 15-1 on the season.
Tom's job, he's just thinking right now, just put the ball in the play. He hits a weak ground of the second baseman, scores a run. That's all he needs to do here, just score a run. Doesn't matter how, just get that run across the line and put him in front.
And a swing and a miss. So he doesn't strike out often, but Willie Lee gets their leading RBI man down on strikes.
Good pitch there, change up, full count. I'm sure Tom wasn't sitting on an off-speed change up, a full count, and that's the difference with the pitching. Experienced pitching can throw their pitches in any counts, and Willie just showed that there with a change up full.
Sam McGarry up to bat, hitting .354 on the season. And he puts the ball in play. Nick George is going to score, and Sam McGarry has a hit and an RBI, and the Eagles in flight, 1-0.
Yeah, it's a good start. That's what they needed. They need to get a run early and put some pressure on the Henley Grange defence. Willie's doing okay. He's throwing strikes, though. They just a little bit of a gap there. Got it through the gap. Ground ball, scores a run. That's all they needed to do. Start again.
17-year-old Max Stagg batting in the middle of this lineup, a player that a lot of people are very high on around South Australia right now. He's putting up some good numbers.
Obviously sponsored by Nike. Look at those bad boys.
Putting up good numbers with the Adelaide Giants, too. You've got to coach him the last few weeks, Dunny. What have you seen from Max Stagg, both in the outfield and at the plate?
Well, I haven't seen those shoes, that's for sure. So that, no, he's a good kid. He likes to learn. He's willing to learn. He listens. He wants to get better at what he does in his craft. So he keeps doing that. He'll go a long way. So you just got to have that. He's young and they want to succeed, but you just need to bide your time and take it one day at a time. And you'll fail a lot. You need to be able to handle that. So if he can handle that, then he'll become a good baseballer.
Some of the key players on this West Torrens team, very young. Max Stagg, 17 years old. Jasper Clark, just a couple years older. He's a big part of this lineup. Jacob Scott as well. Those are three players, young. Even some of their leaders like Mitch Neuenborn, only 24 years old. So you feel like for a lot of these players on West Torrens, their best baseball is still ahead of them.
Yeah, way ahead of them. They'll be strong for many years to come if they can keep this nucleus of players together.
West Torrens, just like a lot of different clubs, have been hit by different COVID cases or players missing because of Giants games. And they've stepped up, and Max Stagg delivers a hit to left field, and it's back-to-back hits off the Caps medalist Wilson Lee, so it's runners on first and second.
It's a long innings by Willie here. He's probably throwing 20-odd plus now, so he probably hasn't thrown in innings this year with so many pitches. So this is where he needs to bear down, get tired. You've thrown a lot of pitches in the first innings. You're still trying to get outs, and West Torrens are putting the pressure on.
Nico Vanderland and up to bat. And Dunny, you and I host a baseball show in South Australia. We talk to and about a lot of players. Someone said to me the other day, they said, Eric, do you think Nico Vanderland deserves a bit more attention? Is he maybe one of the most underrated players we've got in the Div 1 competition? His numbers, he's batting fifth in the lineup on a 15-1 team, by the way, as he hits this up the middle. And it's going to load the bases. Stagg has to scamper back, so it's 3 straight hits. Runners stay on. A bit of confusion in the field as Nico Vanderlin gets a hit. But on Nico Vanderlin, in his 14 games played, he's got 59 plate appearances. He's got 10 walks. He's hitting .347. He's got 3 home runs and 12 RBIs.
He's doing okay, isn't he?
Those numbers stack up with a lot of the best players in the competition, and you're right. We probably don't talk about them as much as we should in terms of guys that are productive in their lineups, and he's on a first-place team in the middle of that lineup.
Yeah, he's doing really well for West Torrens, and that's why they're being so successful and sitting on top of the ladder at the moment, because they're just so consistent all the way up and down.
Mitch Neuenborn, bases loaded, so an early opportunity here for West Torrens to put up a number versus a starting pitcher that had only allowed 2 earned runs on the season. Swing of the bat can over double that number here. That's a big block from Basnoy.
And again, all you're trying to do here is just drive in another run. Just however you can. Yep, got bases juice, but hit a gap or just at minimum job here just to pick up another run and put them 2-0 in front.
Neuenborn more known for his pitching ability in these circles, the ABL Rookie of the Year, and he's putting up some big numbers. He's leading most of the pitching categories. Not pitching tonight, or at least not starting tonight, but leading most of those categories in the Div 1 State League.
So again here, 3-1, you look for one pitch in one spot, and if it's not there, you just let it go. Walk scores another run, an RBI for Mitch, and it's 2-0. So you got to be, you got to be aggressive but patient at the same time in this pitch count here.
12 RBIs on the season, second on the team.
And that was a good pitch, and he just missed it. So he'd like to have that one back again, but now again, it's in the same sort of situation. Willie can't afford to throw a ball here and get another run to cross the plate. So it's a
full count to Vanderlin and hits to Sam McGarry, Max Stagg, and Nico Vanderlin, and all singles have put 3 on.
Good spot, like that. Right
Called
spot.
strike.
That's where you want to be.
A big strikeout from Wilson Lee brings it to 2 outs in the inning, and Neuenborn will walk back to the dugout.
Nice and easy, anybody.
Now he'll try his luck with Tim Holland, the designated hitter on the day, hitting .208 on the season. He's only had 34 plate appearances, and he's got a good stack of walks too, Tim Holland. And he swings at it, chipped out towards left field. Griff Weber moves under it. West Torrens load him up, but they only score 1. And Henley Grange, I'm sure, would be delighted with that.
Yeah, they get out of that quite cheaply in the end. But they score a run and puts them in front, and now we see what Henley's got.
Well, let's take a look at the defense, at least, of West Torrens as Nathan Vanderland struts out on the mound. A pretty good defense once again. They have one of the better fielding percentage in the competition. That outfield of Max Stagg, Nico Vanderland, and Jasper Clark, just as exciting about as any outfield as you have in the competition. Infield at third base is actually Jacob Scott. At short is Nick George. Just a correction on that graphic. Mitch Neuenborn playing second, Sam McGarry at first. But Nathan Vanderlinden, the starting pitcher, and Tom McGarry, he's won a couple Catcher of the Year awards on Team of the Years in the Baseball South Australia Awards night. So you know he's nice and steady behind the mound. Let's take a look at the batting order for Henley Grange, and there's a lot of speed on this, and it starts with Jack Partington at the top of the lineup. He's got 16 stolen bases. Right behind him is Darcy Berry with 12. He's not in the lineup tonight, but a very dangerous lineup. That middle of the lineup of Lee, Bull, Hernandez, and Noy is about as scary as a part of a lineup as any team has in the competition. 2 Caps medal winners, couple Adelaide Giants, ABL experience, college experience. It's a very, very good attacking lineup.
Yeah, and it should be, yes, it'd be interesting. Vandy's got to throw strikes. He needs to be on with his changeup tonight, which is his best pitch as well. So if he can get that across the plate and get them swinging at that on a consistent basis, he'll go really well tonight. But then if he doesn't, and he gets the speed at the top on, and the guys in the middle can start swinging the bat or laying off bad pitches, then Henley will score a lot of runs.
Here is Nathan Vanderlinden, the starting pitcher on the mound. He'll be about ready to deliver the first pitch. Just an ERA of just a little bit over 2.5. West Torrens have a whole stable of arms they use, but Vanderlinden, Will Kortikis, and Mitch Neuenborn would be their 3 main ones. And this one goes a bit inside. Jack Partington is dangerous as anybody in terms of getting on base.
Yeah, and you may see all 3 of those guys tonight pitch as well. So you reckon at some stage Mitch Neuenborn will throw tonight because he won't throw on the weekend because he'll have Giants duty. So you reckon he would throw at some stage tonight. So Vandy get him started, and then in Mitch, depending on the game situation, may come in a little bit later on.
13 RBI on the season for Jack Partington from the leadoff spot. That's the team lead, which is unbelievable. He's now on the Giants. He's played 7 games, and he leads the team in RBIs for the Giants as well. How often do you see a leadoff hitter lead the team in RBIs?
Yeah, not a lot. No, it's but what it does show is that the bottom of the order obviously is getting on base, which helps him pick up RBIs, which is good as well.
Partington, or Pardo as people call him, have turned into... He's had a big breakout year in terms of some numbers as it goes out towards left field. It's a good catch out there by Max Stagg, and it's 1 down. So a handy first out for West Torrens.
Yeah, keeping Pato off the bags is crucial because he will run at some stage, and you'll have to be good to throw him out. So to keep him off the bases gives your team a massive opportunity to keep the runs scored down.
In 9 games, Wilson Lee is hitting .353 with 2 home runs and 10 ribbies. He'll be good a shot as anybody to take a ball out of the park. We've actually got 3 targets set up in the outfield tonight. That's a big thanks to Century 21 MC Sportswear or an ALH group. If you hit one of those targets, it's $200 to the player.
Oh, wow, nice.
That one outside. So a few balls stacking up early. Willie Lee was looking for the ball, called strike. Staying alive, chops one into the ground. Vanderland, the pitcher, 34.2 innings pitched. He's second on the team, or he's up there with Will Corticus and Mitch Neuenborn, sorry, in terms of innings pitched this year. Just that 2.59 ERA, a 1.09 WHIP. Only allowed the 10 earned runs, and he struck out 41 in 34 2/3. This one chopped right back towards Nathan Vanderland, and it's 2 up, 2 down.
Yeah, good pitch sequence there. You know, starts him with a fastball and then just everything off speed. Curveball away, change up in, curveball away, change up in, change up again. So makes Willie slow his bat down, and that's probably something you'll see a lot tonight from Vanderland when he's facing Willie Lee.
Liam Bolt. He's a homegrown Henley and Grange product. Started off playing T-ball at the club. Now he's batting 3 on a team that a lot of people fancy with a very good chance at winning a premiership this year. That's sort of the expectation around Rams country right now.
Yeah, it's been a while since they've probably won one, so they've got the players now to do it. So it's a matter of them gelling together and getting it done. They'll certainly be around the mark.
Bull hitting .333 on the season, swings through it, and Nate Vanderland starts the game off with a 1-2-3 inning. We've played one. West Torrens lead by 1. Well, back here, Henley and Grange hosting the live stream tonight, and MC Sportswear, ALH Group, and Century 21 Craigmore, Linda Hart helping us out. You'll see a few bullseyes out in the outfield tonight, one in left field, one in center field, one in right field. If any of the players hit that bullseye or that side, it's $200 dues to the player. Big thanks to the sponsors for putting on the show tonight. Make sure you Google Century 21 Craigmore. Get in touch with Linda or Bill there. They can help you out. Of course, ALH Group, they've got 6 main pubs that sponsor here. The Ramsgate, Exeter, Henley Hotel, Findon, the Lynx, and Cooper's Ale House. And, of course, MC Sportswear, One of the best places to head to. The place to head to if you need all your baseball, softball gear.
There you go. Go down there, they'll help you out.
Grant will help you out for sure. Back at it here. Wilson Lee still on the mound. Jacob Scott, Jasper Clark, and Nick George due up. There's not really a let-up in this lineup in terms of production. Jacob Scott sitting in the 8-hole, and he's got a home run and 9 RBIs while hitting .308. Jasper Clark hitting .300, and that's after a bit of a slow start by his standards, and he's coming off a year where he was on the team of the year. That's your 8-9 hitters.
Yeah, Jasper's come back from a wrist injury as well, so he's starting to get his production back, and he'll help the lineup as they get closer to the finals as well.
It sails just a little bit. Wilson Lee struggling to get those early, they're getting ahead early in counts right now.
He threw a few in the first too. He would have thrown nearly probably 25 to 30 in the first, so that takes a bit out of you.
Yeah, lot there, lot.
But he swings through it, and he gets his 3rd strikeout of the day. Nick George got aboard. He was the first batter of the game. He walked, and he later scored.
Jasper Clark.
Yeah, Jasper Clark up to bat. But then Sam McGarry, Max Stagg, and Nico Vanderland all had singles. They loaded the bases. And then Wilson Lee got Mitch Neuenborn to strike out and Tim Holland to fly out to left field, and West Torrens left the bases loaded.
Yeah, he probably got out of it pretty cheaply in the end. He battled back and did what he needed to do, and only ended up giving up 1 where he could have easily given up 3 or 4, and it been really tough to get back into it.
So now Jasper Clark sets in, and he tries to get another base runner. The bookies wouldn't have the over-under in this game being ridiculously high, would they?
That'd be +1.5, -1.5.
Bro.
Yeah, it wouldn't be much more than that. Might even be half.
1 run. Is 1 run going to be enough tonight? It could be.
Could well be.
4-0 was the score of the last time these two teams played, and West Torrens ended up on the winning side of that. This one chopped back towards Wilson Lee. Scoops, flips, records the out. Caps medalist to Caps medalist. Wilson Lee to Landon Hernandez, 2 down. Sort of a long first half inning.
Well, yeah, it was. As I said, I think Willie would have thrown nearly 30 pitches in that first inning. So that's a big first innings for Willie. I don't reckon, his numbers that he's put up so far. I don't think he would have thrown 30 pitches in his first innings or in an innings at all, to be honest. So it would, that would have taken a bit out of him, and he would have sat down at it. But he didn't have a lot of break either. He had to come up and hit as well in the first inning. So
Nick George takes a pitch. Walked in his first at bat, stole second. And then on a pass ball, or not a pass ball, it was kind of a throw that slipped away from Koki Onizawa over from Bass Noy, advanced to third. And Sam McGarry had that single to center that drove him in.
good pitch there. Yeah, that's that one. Hitters tend to like to swing at, but it's hard to get hits off that pitch. So high and up, and now you probably expect Willie to go something down in the dirt here, off speed or something like that, to try and get him to swing at a bad pitch. There it is, change up down. So good pitch sequence there, knowing what the hitters are doing. So he may well go that same pitch up again here, or may stay soft. Nick George is a pretty good hitter, though. He knows his zone pretty well, so you need to be throwing strikes. Doesn't swing a lot of bad pitches.
Stays alive. The Batlin West Torrens lineup keeps on going.
Much better pitch sequence in this innings from Willie as well. He's got ahead of hitters and not got behind in count, so it makes it much easier to pitch to. And then a change-up. Good change-up to get him out there, so his pitch sequence is much better in that innings than it was in the first innings, and proof's in the pudding where he gets 3 hitters for 3 outs.
4 strikeouts now in a 1-2-3 inning for Wilson Lee. As we head to the bottom of the second, it is a 1-0 West Torrens lead. And again, a big thank you to Henley Grange for having us down here to call all the action down here. If you're another club and you'd like to live stream a game, I think we're heading out to Golden Grove in a couple weeks. I think we are. That'll be fun. It'll be a road trip, but it's not possible without sponsors like this. How about ALH Group? They've been a big sponsor of Henley for a while. The Ramsgate Hotel, no surprise, they sponsor the Rams. The Exeter, Henley and Beach, Cooper's Alehouse, Jeps Cross, Findon Hotel, and the Lakes Hotel. They got a few corners of the city.
I was going to say, there's a lot of alcohol there.
Yeah, this is all the ALH Group, the big sponsor here at Henley and Grange, and all of those pretty good watering holes, to be totally honest.
Some good watering holes there. I live right next to one of those.
Yeah, so. The Ramsgate, me too. Yeah, we're around the corner from that.
That's our local.
That's our local, yep. Henley Beach Hotel, not too far down there either.
A little bit down the road.
But a big thanks to ALH Group for hooking us up here. MC Sportswear and Century 21 in Craigmore, the other two big partners of the evening, and they're helping hook us up with those targets out in center field. They hit one of those, it's $200 dues going to a player.
Might have to be beers, wouldn't it, if they get that?
I think the tab's on them. They're opening up the tab. They're heading down. Yeah, if you're a player that hits that, are you saying we're going to one of those ALH Group hotels?
Well, why not?
Heading over to the Henley Beach Hotel.
Money well spent.
Getting it sorted. Well, we're now into the bottom of the second inning. It was a 1-2-3 inning for Nathan Vanderlin and the West Torrens Eagles. Partington, Lee, and Bull were retired in order. Landon Hernandez, the reigning Caps medalist. He's got a target right over his sign in center field. Be fitting if he could launch one in that direction.
Right at the bullseye.
Swings at the first pitch, chopped up. That's going foul. Landon, for so many years, he was runner-up in that Caps medal voting, and last year finally got across the line.
Yeah, he could have probably won 2 or 3 by now, couldn't he, easily?
Yeah, I don't think there'd be a player that has more cumulative votes. If you had the last 5 years in terms of votes, Landon would have to be number 1.
Yeah, by far. By far, he's got more votes than anyone. Good pitch. Good pitch, off speed.
We're going to have some Caps medal chat in the bullpen show after this game today. That's coming at 8:30 p.m. live after the broadcast. Let's give some...
it's a big night for us, Eric.
It is. Hernandez chopped over towards short. He's going to hustle down the line, but it's played well by Nick George, who gets the ball across the diamond for out number 1. Had to charge onto it.
No, that was a good play then. Came in and met the ball well. Got it on the half volley, and good throw off balance to get the out.
Basnoy.
Recently a dad.
Basnoy has played for the Dutch national team before in World Baseball Classics, and he's won some junior world championships, been knighted. Made the switch to Henley and Grange from Kensington this season.
Wonder if he's getting much sleep. Probably not, eh? Let's see if it affects his hitting. Good pitch. 0-2. Vandy's getting ahead in the count, which makes it really hard for hitters. If you can get ahead in the count, it's hard for hitters to hit. So Vandy's doing the job at the moment, keeping his pitch count down.
Sir Basnoy hitting .286 on the season. He's got 7 RBIs. Griff Weber will follow him up. Henley and Grange have a couple good catchers that they can rely on. And Noy goes up the middle. It's the first hit of the ball game for the Rams. And it's their first base runner.
Good pitch there. Thank you. Change up in, so did a fantastic job to stay on that and then just hit the ball back up the middle. You try and pull that pitch, Eric, you get out. So you keep your hands inside the ball and hit it back up the middle on that change up and gets the first hit on the board for Henley, and maybe they can get something going here with Griff at the plate.
Griff Weber, a former member of the West Torrens Eagles, made the move over to Henley and Grange a few years ago. Just celebrated a milestone, wasn't it, not too long ago? Was it 100 games, maybe?
Yeah, and a birthday too, I think. Only a couple of weeks ago.
22?
Yeah, kid, baby, just a baby.
He's had a couple good games recently with the Adelaide Giants with the bat. Had a couple hits, couple RBIs.
Yeah, he's deserved that. He's done a really good job with all the work that he puts in and rewarded for that. And that's way back.
And this one's hit hard. This one back to the wall, and this is gone. Griff Weber puts the Rams in front with a 2-run shot. Well, they've smashed the overs already in this game.
Oh, yeah.
With 3 runs. And right on cue, as we're singing the praises of Griff Weber, it's left field. That wasn't too far away from the target side.
No, it was pretty close in the end there. It wasn't that far away at all. A good swing there, pitch in and got his hands through and hit it well.
It's his first home run of the season, his 9th RBI of the year. And just like that, they were, at one point, it was bases loaded, 1 out in the first inning, and West Torrens already up 1-0. And how the turntables. It's 2-1, Henley and Grange.
Yeah.
Tyson Arnold, another transfer over to Henley and Grange this year. He's played 9 games for him. With all the transfers, we were kind of wondering who misses out on games, and it's kind of worked out that players either out because of injury, COVID, Giants. Tyson Arnold's had to step up in a big way this year. He's hitting .303 in his 9 games that he's played. But he's not getting on base this time. Second of the day for Nate Vanderland. Koki Yanazawa up to bat, hitting .275 in his 14 games played this year. Young player came over from Japan. Had a bit outside.
Yeah, good pitch there. Change up, good pitch. If Vandy keeps throwing that pitch, he won't get hurt a lot. So he's just got to keep throwing that pitch for strikes, and he'll be okay. If he can't land it, then he gets into trouble.
Slips a bit outside. Nibbling the edges a bit, but that one again drifts outside, so it's the second ball on him. Chop foul, Yanazawa stays alive. In the air, right back towards us. Heads up, heads up. Ooh. That was close to the fence and close to the camera guy. You couldn't really tell where it was going, but caught right in front of the camera as I'm shouting out to him. Tom McGarry makes the grab. Have to call up people just in case. Tom McGarry makes the grab, but a 2-run home run to Griffin Weber have put the Rams up in front. We've played 2. It's 2-1. We'll be back on the other side with Dom Hodges.
Good catch there by Tom McGarry to stay with it, and could easily.
Back at the ballpark, not too far from here, we've got beautiful Henley and Grange Baseball Club. They're up 2-1 in the third, putting on the live stream for us tonight. Wilson Lee on the mound, throws the pitch. He's really settled down since loading the bases in the first, got out of the jam. Now he's got a 2-1 lead, and so happy to have El Presidente in the house.
I'm glad you're not saying he was beautiful. My God.
Dom Hodges, what's going on, man?
Thanks for having me, fellas. It's a pleasure to be on board tonight.
Tom McGarry up to bat. He is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Then that middle of the lineup that got it done. So, Dom, the expectations around this Div 1 team, what are they at the start of this season?
Nothing short than a premiership, I think. I think the last 2 seasons we've made it to our Division 1, 2 and 3 teams have all made prelims. 2 seasons ago, the season got cancelled because of COVID. And last year we all fell apart during the preliminary finals and didn't make the grand final. So I think this year all teams have nothing less than at least a grand final and hopefully bring a premiership home.
Hard hit ball over towards center field. Jack Partington will have no problem with that. Tom McGarry flies out number 1. Jack Partington in center field. He's been here. How many years has he been now at Henley Grange?
3rd season, I believe. Yep.
He's been big addition to this ball club, you'd say.
Oh yeah, he came across with Geordie Gross a few years ago, and they've just been awesome players and leaders around the club. And now they get their chance with the Giants this season, which is and they're showing their stuff out there, which has been awesome for them as well.
Sam McGarry up to bat right now. Both of these clubs have a few Giants players on their roster, so it becomes, I'm sure, difficult to manage game time, playing time, guys in and out. But there's a lot of kids that you have on this Henley Grange team that have kind of stepped up and filled that void when those players are out of the lineup.
Yeah, well, we've had 5 to 6 out over the last 3 weeks.
Various reasons, I guess.
Well, Giants, COVID, injury. But you're right, our Division 2 team currently, I think, is 11-1 or 12-1, I'm not sure, but we've lost 1 game to Glenelg a few weeks ago. And it's full of youngsters knocking on the door of Division 1. So whilst it's we have a bit of pain with guys losing guys to the Giants and COVID, it also gives an opportunity for our youngsters to step out and get a taste of Division 1.
Knocked over for first, and it was a foot race for it. Landon Hernandez wins that battle, and it's a ground out over towards first base. So when was it that Henley Grange won the Junior Club of the Year award?
I think it was we won it twice.
A couple years in a row, right?
I think that was probably going back 4 to 5 years ago now.
Because if you look at the Division 1, 2, and 3 standings right now, Henley has to be 1 or 2 in terms of wins. Like, the Senior Club of the Year has to be a possibility this year.
I think we had a quick look at that the other night, and I think we're slightly ahead of Southern Districts at the moment.
But it's got to be tight.
I think there's only a game or 2 in it, and believe it or not, we play Southern Districts this week. So
that would probably add up, though, wouldn't it, in terms of, like, you win the Junior Club of the Year a few years ago, and then it would make sense that you'd hope those players progress.
Yeah, that's right. It's all part of it. I mean, my job as president and the committee is to create a pathway from T-ball right through to Division 1. So at the moment, as I said, we've got our average age of our Division 2 team, which is 12 and 1, would have to be about 17. So
that's young.
Yeah, I think, well, the next 10 years is going to be exciting for the Henley Grange Baseball Club.
I mean, that's the whole purpose of having the Division 2 team there, though, is it's a feeder to your division. You know, it's no different to Pro Ball. It's a feeder to your Division 1 team to get them to fill in where they can and get some experience and help the club grow as it goes along.
Yeah, you're right there, Dunny. We took our eyes off our juniors probably 10 years ago when we paid the price, and the last 4 or 5 years we've relied on some other players to step in from other clubs to fill that hole. But now the time is right for these young guys to their destiny's in their own hands, and you know, if they want to do the right thing and keep working hard, they're going to have an A-grade spot for the next 10 years. So
Max Stagg floats this out towards shallow left field. Retreating is Yanazawa. He makes the catch, and that is 3 up, 3 down for Wilson Lee and Henley and Grange, who now have a 2-1 lead as we'll head to the bottom of the 3rd. President Dom Hodges joining us here. What's the culture? What's the vibe right now at in Rams camp? Because there's a good few number of people on a Tuesday night sitting around the hill enjoying the game.
Yeah, it's really good tonight. It's a nice warm night, 1 versus 2. The hill's packed, the club room's packed. So amongst all the COVID, it's just great to see. It's great to see some numbers out, and the vibe around the club is good. Our 1s are second, our 2s are top, our 3s are in the top. I think they're 5th at the moment. Our Division 3's full of youngsters as well. You know, our Division 4s down to 8 are all top 4. Our women's teams are all going to play finals. and our juniors are looking good as well. So, no, I couldn't be happier as president going forward. We've got some great facilities down here. We've got 2 great diamonds. Got some money in the bank with all the hard work from our sponsors and our club people. So, yeah, as I said, the future's looking good for the Rams.
Who are a couple of key volunteers that we see around here? Like, who runs the canteen and all that kind of stuff here?
You can't go past the Roxbys, Wendy and Paul Roxby. Paul's down here basically full-time on the grounds. He's got a little crew working with him in David Travascus, Jim Burke and Wayne Rowe. And Wendy, as well as being our club secretary, she runs our canteen. So
they do a good hot dog here.
Do they?
We do the best hot dog in the league.
I reckon that statement is not made up.
Maybe next year, Eric, what we do, if we do more games, we've got to get to every ground and we've got to have a hot dog at every ground. And
well, we can start tonight.
We'll do a rating at every ground on the hot dog.
We can start tonight. I've had Sturt's hot dog before. It's an all right hot dog.
It's okay.
We've had, where were we at Kensington? Didn't have their hot dog, but we had their chicken burger, and that was delicious. I will give them credit for that. We'll have the hot dog tonight. We'll go to Golden Grove. We'll have the hot dog there. We'll just let's try the signature dish at each of the places.
There you go.
What's the go-to item here? As Nate Vanderland delivers a pitch to Phil Acosta. What's the go-to item? Is it the hot dog?
It's the hot dog with cheese and sauce, I'd say. It's I think over a weekend from Fridays through to Sundays, I think we'd serve up about 200.
Maybe that's the new challenge. Let's put the call out to all the clubs. Who's got the best dish, and we'll go around and try them, and we'll award the best canteen food.
The dish of the year.
The dish of the year.
Nah, Wendy does a great job around the club. Our canteen puts about $20,000 into our club's coffers every season. So, she's there Friday nights, Saturdays, Sundays, and Tuesday night twilight game. So we'd be lost without Wendy and Paul Roxby.
Acosta has this take a funny hop off the mound, trying to make the adjustment as Neuenborn, and Acosta hustles down there, and he's aboard. And it's another leadoff runner for Henley and Grange. Does this team do they have that confidence that they feel like they can beat anybody?
I think so. I think when you got a team with 5 Giants players, you got guys like Landon Hernandez and Bas Nudge and guys
Willie
like
Lee.
Well, Willie Lee on the fringe. You don't include them in the Giants.
No.
That probably would get a game if they made themselves available.
Well, all 3 of them have played significant ABL time before.
That's right. So
Jack Partington flies one out towards shallow right field. Neuenborn makes the play, 1 down. Henley and Grange also played a big part. Like, those players were a key part. Actually, West Torrens, too, they were on the same team. This was pretty much the Rays, it felt like. These 2 teams.
In the Super League?
In the Super League. A bulk of those players were from these 2 teams tonight.
Yep, no, you're right. They made a big contribution to that part of the season with the Super League as well. So, which just shows how strong these 2 clubs are at the moment, which is great for the league.
Wilson Lee up to bat. He's 0 for 1. He grounded out to Nate Vanderlinden. The only blemish on Nate Vanderlinden's day so far was that big home run that Griff Weber sent over towards left field. Oh, it was a nervy time for that target on the first one. It was in the vicinity.
Yeah, it was certainly close.
That's got to be a hard one to hit. The target.
Oh, it's almost impossible. But you never know. You just never know. Sometimes you get lucky and... it's like having a hole in one.
I like that was there. That was a good idea. Whose idea was that?
It was actually Russell Hart's.
Full of good ideas, Russell Hart.
He's an ideas man.
Good ideas? Or are you just going to leave it at ideas, man?
Yeah.
We'll just leave it there.
We'll just say ideas, man.
He brings a lot to the table. A lot of them get smashed.
I have to be nice to Russell because his mum, Linda Hart, and Century 21 are sponsoring this broadcast tonight. So thanks to Linda and Bill.
You can't survive without those guys helping out clubs, so much appreciation goes out to those guys that help out in the background that don't get a lot of acknowledgement.
No, that's right. We talked about the canteen. Our sponsors probably put about another 20,000 into our coffers every season, and we're really lucky. We got Andrew Gunn, who's the state manager of the ALH group. They've got about 35 pubs in South Australia. Any pub basically with a BWS attached is an ALH hotel. So we're lucky enough. We got the Ramsgate, the Henley, the Findon, the Lynx, the Exeter, and the Cooper's Ale House. So they're our major sponsor, and we really appreciate them and the support of Andrew Gunn.
Well, circle this moment in your scorebooks. As this hits Liam Bull, it's going to be bases loaded, so maybe circle this even more. Bases loaded, 1-run lead, reigning Caps medalist, Landon Hernandez coming to the plate. It was 1 out and bases loaded for West Torrens in the first, and they couldn't bring any of those players in that situation. Henley and Grange now have the exact same opportunity, Hernandez and then Noy, if they get that far, and this has a chance to bust this game open. You can almost track Henley and Grange's turnaround from when this man transferred over here, what, 5 seasons ago now?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. He was playing for Golden Grove, and once again, Russell Hart was a Division 1 coach and persuaded him to come across. And really, we've built our team around Landon.
We were just saying before you came on, it couldn't be close in terms of who's got the most votes cumulative over the last 5 seasons. If you added up all those votes and Caps medals, Landon would probably have him. He's got 3 runner-ups, is it? He's won 1.
Hands down, Landon Hernandez.
And he hits one hard. This one heading back towards the wall. Eagles are trying to hunt it down, and they won't be able to. Get out the bread, everybody. We've got a salami.
Salami.
Landon Hernandez puts 4 more on the board, and he'll be hunting down some more votes tonight at 6-1 Rams.
Oh, hasn't landed yet.
Yeah, good swing there by Landon, but as you can see, Nate, you get behind in your pitch counts, you got to come back and throw a strike. You got to throw a strike, and the only pitch in those sort of situations you're going to sit on is a fastball. You don't want to walk or run across the plate. Landon sitting on it, got it, and parted with it in a big hurry.
That was taken for a ride. Bass Noy swings at the first pitch. Should be an easy out. Moving in to make the play is Nico Vanderlin, and it's 2 down. But now Landon Hernandez all of a sudden has 12 RBIs. He'll be creeping up towards that 300 mark. His on-base percentage is RB 431. But, yeah, that was a big moment for Landon Hernandez, you'd say.
Good swing. And that breaks it open. So now...
How's that effort, though, by the way, from Nico Vanderland, and he almost jumped over the fence? Let's see that replay again. He's like Spider-Man Nico out there. I don't think he was anywhere near catching the ball.
No,
look at this.
He was nowhere near it, but it was was a little crazy jump.
0-0 Nico. That was cool. That one blocked. So now it's a 6-1 lead. You've got another Caps medalist and Wilson Lee on the mound. Henley would be feeling pretty good, although anything can happen.
Yeah, that's right. Still a long way to go. And West Torrens, let's see what they've got.
Well, you can circle the 2 opportunities that the teams had. West Torrens had bases loaded, 1 out in the first inning, and they grounded out and struck out, or they struck out and then flew out, sorry. On one of the first pitches they saw with bases loaded, Landon Hernandez, grand slam, 6-1.
And all the runs have been scored from Henley through home runs. So it's that's a lot of runs. 6-1. It's a tough one on Tuesday night with short games.
Griff Weber's got a home run. He had the 2-run home run back in the second. He'll flare it out towards right field. Bit of an awkward spot for it, calling everybody off as Neuenborn. He makes the play. But a Landon Hernandez monster shot over the center field wall has put Henley and Grange up 6-1. We've played 3. We'll be back. Back at Henley and Grange Baseball Club, those Bullseyes have been under threat tonight. One by Landon Hernandez, one by Griff Weber. Haven't hit them yet, but left field sponsored by MC Sportswear, center field ALH Group, and right field Linda Hart in Century 21. Are those your three biggest sponsors down here, Dom?
Well, ALH Group are definitely our major sponsor. They've supported us about the last 5 years. MC Sports and Grant McCarran family of
Life member.
Grant and Roz, his wife, lovely wife, are both life members. And they've sponsored us for as far as I could remember. And Century 21 have come on tonight to sponsor tonight's event, which obviously cost the club a bit of money, so they decided to throw a few bucks in and help the club out and do some advertising for Century 21.
Well, you've got 2 home runs, including a grand slam to chuck on a highlight reel. Nico Vanderland, he's 1 for 1, battling away against Wilson Lee, who those first 5 batters were a bit checkered for Wilson Lee, but boy, has he been good ever since those bases were loaded. 8 up, 8 down.
Yeah, the first inning was a bit of a worry, and then from there on he's bared down, and he's done what he's done with the first 8 games that he's played for Henley as well.
So let's talk Henley. Oh, he got the strike again. So it is 5 strikeouts for Wilson Lee. Look, when it comes down to it in finals, you need pitching to win, right? Wilson Lee was a big recruit because that adds a third arm here at Henley and Grange that can start games. So Jordy Gross, you got Wilson Lee. Landon Hernandez. But then outside of that, who's going to come into the pen? Because there's some, we've heard this Jordy Hodges kid. He can throw the ball okay too.
He's all right. He's still learning his craft. He's throwing the ball really well in Division 2, and he pitched 5 innings against North a few weeks ago. But I think he needs a few more innings on his belt, and he'll get a bit more confidence to throw against the top teams. So.
Because Jack Partington's pitched a couple innings, but you have those 3 main pitchers, and you'd assume they'd eat most of the innings in a playoff series. But lots of times you see in the finals, you need that 4th and 5th guy to come in there for valuable innings. So is this now the time of year you start thinking, okay, we got to get these kids prepped?
Well, exactly right. And the other thing too, you got to remember, Division 1, best of 3. Division 2, Division 3 are all 9 innings games. So you actually think about that at the start of the season. Unfortunately, a couple of weeks before the season, we lost Ethan Badcock to Golden Grove, and Connor McLeod with some personal reasons. So that put a big hole in our pitching lineup, and Wilson decided that he's coming back to South Australia. So he contacted Russell Hart, and we gladly reached out to him because he's going to make a big difference in our run to the finals.
Swing and a miss. Well, Wilson Lee's got it done before, the Caps medalist, with Sturt winning a championship there. He's got 6 strikeouts now, and he's 9 up, 9 down since, we're now 10 up, 10 down, since loading the bases and not allowing a run. So he is humming along right now, Wilson Lee. And how's he slotted in at the club? Ooh. Well, I jinxed him.
You did. You put the mockers on him, mate.
Commentator's curse.
Apologies to Wilson Lee.
Not the first time you've done that, Eric. We understand.
Tim Holland gets hit. I think I've hit the blessing on it today because remember Griff Weber comes up. I'm singing his praises. Next pitch.
Bang.
Landon Hernandez comes up. Oh, the club's turnaround. Really, you could track back to starting when Landon came over. Bang, grand slam. You know, I got to hype him up.
You're taking the credit now, eh?
I am taking the credit. Jacob Scott having a sneaky good season. Not even sneaky, hitting over 300. Had a big home run the other week. Massive in the 8-hole. Takes a couple years for a couple of these kids, we'll call them, Jacob Scott's one of them, to really establish themselves at that top level, doesn't it? And Jacob's now a legitimate, bona fide Division 1 player.
Yeah, but they're still kids, mate. You know, they still know, you know, not a lot. There's lots and lots still to learn. Just because you're playing Division 1 doesn't mean you know what you're doing.
No. And I think sometimes clubs have got to make a decision, and coaches, that you got to go backwards to go forwards, because there is a big difference between Division 1 and Division 2. and you've got to give these guys, 50 at-bats to catch up with the pitching. You can't just bring them in for the odd game here and there. You got to leave them in there and have faith in them, believe in them, and give them a half a season or a full season to catch up. And I think once they do, they're going to be great players like Jacob and Max Stagg, and these young guys are going to be for West Torrens for the next 10 years.
Yep. Yeah, it's at least 2 or 3, I reckon. It takes a while just because. Just because you stick your toes in the water doesn't mean you're a bona fide Division 1 player. So
No.
there's a lot to learn. There's a lot to learn after every game. There's lots of conversations to have about why you do things in certain situations, which you need to understand as the game goes on. You just don't go out there and roll out and think, everything that I do is right, because it's not.
No, and the same and the same goes for ABL.
Mm-hmm.
You got to give these good Division 1 guys lots of at-bats at an ABL level for them to catch up and develop their game at that level.
Yep. A little bit of an opportunity here for West Torrens. Jasper Clark up.
Well, 2 outs, 2 on, and Jasper Clark, who was on the Team of the Year last year, head coach of this team, West Torrens, they love Jasper Clark and what he brings to the team. One of the leaders of this team, and he's just so young. Swings through it. It's a foul ball, so the runners have to stay put. In a 2-hour game, you don't have too many crazy opportunities. West Torrens already were 0 for 2 at bases loaded. They have to take advantage here. And Clark chases through it. Wilson Lee with 6 strikeouts already on the day. He's got Clark on the ropes. Clark gets a piece of it, just a little bit foul. They're tough outs, this West Torrens team.
Yeah, they hit right up and down their lineup, so that's an advantage. They're never out of games, even at 6-1 there. They don't need many opportunities to turn it around and get it back tight again.
Clark towards right field. Phil Acosta having a look. He makes the catch, and they get out of the jam. So it remains a 6-1 game. Rams still in front. Yeah, West Torrens only lost 1 game this year, and that was just a start. And they lost 5-3. Henley have lost to Kensington twice, 10-4 and 8-2. They lost to West Torrens once, and then Goodwood just the last game they played on the Tuesday night. And what I hear was a nail biter in many different ways, and apparently a crazy game down here. Henley play teams close though, don't they? They've played a lot of close games. They win a lot of those close games, but they rarely get blown out.
Yeah, I think that's the when you look at those close games at the end of the season, that makes a big difference in you can finish top or you can finish 6th or 7th or 8th. I remember when we won the flag back, late 90s. Good teams work out how to win those games, whereas the younger, inexperienced teams will give those games up. So.
We had a good chat about that with Brendan Scanlon, the manager of Southern Districts. They're sitting at 9-7 in 6th place right now, and he was saying that last year they lost 8 or 9 games by 1 or 2 runs, and this year Souths are getting up and they're holding on and winning games 6-5, 5-4, and you're right. Now all of a sudden, instead of being 5-10, they're 9-7, and they're sitting in a final spot.
There you go. That's proof in the pudding right there. So Souths are doing a great job. They 1s, 2s, and 3s are all doing good. Promoting their juniors, and I was up there a couple of weeks ago, and they got young Paparella playing shortstop and Drew Davies.
Couple good ones to circle,
There you go. There you go. Another 15-year A-grade player. So, yeah, they do a great job, Southern Districts.
Big thanks to the sponsors, especially Century 21 and Linda Hart, and getting this live stream up and running, but of course MC Sportswear and ALH Group and all of the pubs associated with that. Which one of there's 6 main pubs here. Do you have a local favorite of the 6, Dom, that you might sneak out to?
I'm a teetotaler, so wrong guy to ask.
Yeah, here's a glass of water and a packet of chips, mate.
What about for a schnitty?
If I catch up with Dunny, we just have a cup of coffee and a yo-yo biscuit.
That's it.
But no, I think being the Ramsgate and the Henley Grange Rams, a lot of the guys after they have a few at our club, always they sneak up to the Ramsgate for a few. And
The Schnitty nights at the Ramsgate.
that's right.
That's the go-to.
That's the go-to.
They're pretty good down there too, must say. The old Kilpatrick. I love the old Kilpatrick down there, the one with the bacon and the barbecue sauce on it. And
That's the local.
That's local.
So, Dom, just a question while we've got a bit of a break in play here. Do you have the conversation before the season starts that, it's imperative that we try and finish first after the minor round to get home finals, or is it a let's finish anywhere in the six because you can win it from anywhere in the six? Is there a mindset at the club that goes through that process?
Obviously, you want to finish. At the moment, you're not going to get a home grand final, so you want to try and get those first two best of three finals at home on your home ground, make some revenue for your club through the canteen and the bar. So I think, we know in the back of our mind with our pitching and our hitting that, finishing top six, we're going to have a good chance from anywhere in the top six. But ideally, top three, top two to get those first two finals at home is the ideal situation.
Yep. I think we've got a bit of a delay here. There's a problem at first base, I think. I don't know whether the base is loose and it's...
they were kicking it and it was kind of
come out of the ground,
swiveling around. There's a new pitcher on, too, that just finished warming up. Ryan Broom has come into the game. He delivered a pretty decisive hit versus Kensington, drove in the winning run with the bat. Ryan Broom, one of those guys that's been used in Division 1, Division 2, as a pitcher, as a hitter, a very versatile player over the years right now for Henley and Grange. But he comes in to throw a couple innings. He played some Super League at one point, didn't he, Ryan Broom? He
did. Yep, he certainly did in the early days as well when we were doing the draft and stuff as well. I think so. He's certainly done some Super League time.
Oh, we have a new base, the backup base. Always prepared. Did that man literally steal first base?
Wow, Eric.
That's Ryan Plugger Simonson. He's
look at you go with your jokes, mate.
He's done some odd things on the baseball field before.
Has he?
I think one night he did a streak at Norwood Oval.
Was Dunny playing?
Probably. Was that Norwood?
I think Dunny tackled him down at left field.
Hog-tied him.
Henley and Grange up 6-1.
Nope, they still haven't started. Hang on, we still got a problem.
Nobody wants to claim this base right now. This is going to eat away some time. This probably does work in Henley's favor, to be totally honest.
It is getting dark, I know that.
It is 7:04. The game can't go past 8 p.m. Now they're bringing the whole Brains Trust out there. You need to be out there, Dom, sorting things out. Russell Hart's now heading out there.
No, not me.
Get the whole Henley committee out there.
Wayne Rowe, Paul Roxby will probably head out there. It's in good hands.
So it's a 6-1 game. All 6 runs have been scored by the long ball for Henley and Grange. In the second inning, Griff Weber had a 2-run shot with Bassanoy aboard from his single. And then Phil Acosta hustled out. That hit got on base. Then a walk to Wilson Lee. Liam Bull was hit by the pitch, and Landon Hernandez deposited the baseball deep over the fence. Not too far away, just kind of left of that 370 marker out in the outfield, and it carried it by a distance. That ball was hit hard.
It was certainly hit hard, that's for sure. That was definitely hit hard. And it didn't miss that target by that much.
And it didn't miss his own name.
It was pretty close to his name, wasn't it?
Landon Hernandez. There's the bullseyes again, the 3 caps medalists. Here's some chat for you. If you're hanging out in the chat here, we wanted to ask the question. We know there's a way to find this up. However, which club has the most caps medalists? That was the question. Not the most caps medals, the most caps medalists, the most wide variety of them.
So if you've won it 5 times, it only counts as 1.
It counts as 1. Unless,
How many? Who's got the most?
Port Adelaide, I think.
I think Port are up there.
3 different ones over at Henley and Grange.
Well, I think Robert Laidlaw published that book a few years ago with all the caps medalists in it. So he'd be the man to ask.
Righto, back to the action. Here we go.
Tyson Arnold, he's up to bat. He struck out back in the second inning. Ryan Broom. That'd be hard as a pitcher. You come in, you warm up, you get in the game, and then you just kind of get freezed for the last 6 minutes as they're trying to fix the base.
Yeah, it sort of, it does mess with you a little bit, but you just need to bear down, as Kevin Costner, clear the mechanism and get on with it.
Good pitch from Ryan Broom, finds the plate. He'll be just trying to limit damage, not allow any more runs, and keep West Torrens, which have scored the most runs and allowed the least.
Oh, that might fall in.
This one flared over towards right field. Jasper Clark racing over, drops in front of him, and it's a base hit for Tyson Arnold.
Lead off on, that's what you need.
Well, how's this for a stat for you? I'm looking through this right now. This is the most runs conceded by West Torrens. Second most runs conceded. They won 8-7 versus Adelaide back in round 6 or 7.
That was the one that went extra innings, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a crazy one.
Yeah.
But outside of that, it's been a lot of goose eggs, a couple 1-run games, a couple 2-run games, a 4-2, 5-run games in there. Runner going, and it won't even be a competition.
And this is where Broomy's got to hold on here. If he doesn't hold on, this could blow out and hurry. So Henley will bear down a little bit here. Broomy needs to keep throwing strikes, getting outs, and if he can't do that, this could open up pretty quickly.
Henley, meanwhile, they scored the third most runs in the competition, but I feel like that number has ballooned in the last few weeks. Go through some of their numbers in a second. As Broom delivers the pitch, and Koki Yanazawa knocks it away. But there was a lot of score lines that, are 3-1 over Goodwood, 5-3 over Southern Districts, 2-1 Golden Grove, 6-1 East Torrens. But then lately, they had a 29, 6, 7, and 9 runs in their last 4 games heading into this one, other than they had 5 runs versus Goodwood. So the offense has come alive here in Henley and Grange country.
I'd wholly agree with that. To be really honest with you, we got through to the Christmas break in good shape, but obviously watching most of the games, our bats really hadn't clicked all together at the same time. So
Yanazawa goes up the middle.
That's okay. Moves a runner over, 1 out. You got a runner at third now, and you just need a base hit or a ball in the outfield to score a run. So Koki does his job there.
So yeah, once you get to the Christmas break, if you're sitting in the top 6 and you got some good pitching, you're going to be in good shape, because once the twilight games kick in, and the run to the finals is dependent on your pitching and your hitting. So our bats have really come alive since Christmas.
I think that's probably a good word to describe it, Dom. You said team hitting, in terms of everybody clicking at the same time rather than just 2-3 guys, which is great. They're winning you some games, but when everybody's going, it's hard to stop. And you see that with West Torrens. They've got 130 runs. They don't have a lot of standout individuals. They just have collectively a lot of really good baseball players moving guys around the diamond, scoring some runs consistently throughout the year.
Yeah, West Torrens up here too. They realise the situation of the game now, 6-1. They can't afford to give any more up. So infielder playing up to stop that run to try and score.
Acosta chops it over. They're not even going to make a play at home. They'll step on the bag at first, but it's an RBI for Phil Acosta. Newenborn chucked it to McGarry. He had a look, but I think
no play there. There was no play. Good. That's good execution hitting by Henley there, just to pick up another run, just put another one on the board. That's all you need to do. Just keep turning it over. It just makes West Torrens' job harder and harder.
So a 7-1 game. Jack Partington up to bat. If you had told me at the beginning of the game that Henley and Grange would be winning 7-1 in the 4th and Jack Partington would not have been on base, but 7 other members had, I would have said, you're kidding. Nothing against Pardo. He's having an awesome season, Jack Partington.
Yeah, but you can't do it all the time. We play this game. We understand that.
Partington with 16 stolen bases.
That's a good thing that they've scored 7 runs with Pardo not doing anything. So it just shows how the depth of the team and their club, and Pardo will do his job when he needs to.
Leads the team in RBIs from the leadoff spot. Leads the Giants in RBIs from the leadoff spot.
And you could probably throw stolen bases in there too, I think.
Yeah, he's up there with that as well. He's having a good year.
Super League, he had a big year too. Those Rays were a fun team to watch this year, and a lot of it was some of the younger players or kids back from college recently.
Yes, it was fun to watch, but Eric, they still finished second. Don't ever forget that, my friend. Do not ever forget that. Marlins back-to-back, thank you very much.
Free bases. Partington puts it in play. This could be a tough one from across the diamond. Partington can fly, but what a throw by Jacob Scott.
No, Nathan Vanderlinden.
Nathan Vanderlinden, sorry. He's moved over to third, Nathan Vanderlinden. How's this for a throw?
Yeah, it's a great play.
Because Partington can fly. They do score one more run. We've played 4. It's 7-1. Rams lead the Eagles. Beautiful day, beautiful night for a ball game, and thank you very much for the Henley Grange Rams and the whole Henley Grange family, including all their sponsors, MC Sportswear, ALH Group, Century 21, the Bullseye sponsors. A great idea. It's a unique activation, I think, that you see from around the South Australian ballparks. I don't know how many ballparks have a little reward that you can hit. You hit a target, you win a prize.
Henley is the first one.
That's one.
Yeah, none that I know of.
No. It's all this innovation from Hardy, you know, he comes up with these ideas. He's an ideas man.
It's the first good idea he's ever had.
There you go.
7-1 lead. They keep piling on today.
So we've just been advised too that we may have a follower tonight on the show who's over in America at the moment, and we are of the understanding that Mr. Curtis Mead might be watching our game tonight. So we have a shout out to him and hope he's well and everything's going well with him and what he's doing over there at the moment. So we're glad you're watching, mate, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
What would Curtis Mead's stat line be if he was playing club ball this summer?
I'll be just stupid. No, he had a fantastic year and he moved through the grades really well. So we're very happy for him and proud to call him part of us. So and we hope he's having a good off season, getting ready. It's not far off from getting back into it as well. With training, he's probably been in the gym a fair bit, and we all say hello and wish you the best of luck this year as well, mate.
Nick George up to bat, and he's on base for the second time. It's a leadoff base runner. He did this back in the first inning and later scored. There's not a lot of time left in this game. There's only 45 minutes. We're also in the 5th inning, so West Torrens need a big number here, and they need a big number in the next one.
And that helps getting the leadoff guy on, you know, and you've got your heart of your lineup now coming up. So Willie needs to bear down now and keep Henley where they are and keep West Torrens out of it.
Has to get through the McGarry brothers, and this is the 3rd time through the lineup. These brothers kind of mirror each other. They're only separated by like 1 or 2 points on their batting averages too.
Yeah, Willie's done a lot of work too. He's thrown some pitches, so he needs to bear down here. He's got... he can get through this part of the lineup. He goes a long way to getting it done.
Who's in the bullpen tonight, Dom? Do you know? Is the Rooster out there?
I think the Roosters, I can see him out at right field going for a bit of a jog and stretching up. So don't be surprised if you see him throw the last 2.
Yeah, well, he would be the sort of guy that you come in this situation, Dom, knowing that he's playing ABL on the weekend. So if you don't throw him tonight, you don't throw him at all, right? So you think there's an opportunity for him to come in somewhere and try and close this out if needed.
I think the reception for Jordy Gross when he came onto the mound on Friday night for the Giants and pitched 2 clean innings, mind you, it was one of the biggest roars that the crowd got all night. People were loving Jordy pitching.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of a sprout about him too, hasn't he? When he's going well too. So it's and the crowd loves that. So he's done a great job for the start of his ABL career, and he just he froths being out there, Eric. He just loves it. Just can't get enough.
There was a few Henley and Grange supporters down at the ballpark on Friday night. But here we go. Henley and Grange.
Back-to-back walks, free bases. We talk about it all the time, Eric. Free bases.
The last 4 base runners have been because of a free base. Tim Holland hit by pitch, Jacob Scott walk, Nick George walk, Tom McGarry walk.
What's that? 7, 8 in a row now. Dom, I think 8 walks and 8 pitches in a row. Balls. Needs to bear down a bit here and just get one across the plate.
Yep. There it is.
Sam McGarry and Max Stagg, number 3 and 4 hitters in this lineup.
Ground ball right here would be handy, Dunny.
Good pitch. He's gone back to the change-up. He was struggling to get the fastball across. He's gone back-to-back change-ups. So puts him well in front and now makes Sam wonder what he's going to throw next.
It gets the ground ball, but it might not be hit hard enough. Runner coming around to home, sliding in there, safe. Aggressive base running from Nick George, and he just got under the tag. So a soft hit ground ball scores Nick George all the way from second and also keeps a runner on second base in Tom McGarry. Got the ground ball, but it wasn't quite well placed enough.
Yeah, good heads-up base running there by Nick George. That's a big run in that situation. So, good call there by Poltz. That was definitely got under the tag. So, gives him another run and keeps him in it. So, this is another big out here.
1 down now, and Max Stagg up to bat. Nick George has had a really good day on the base paths.
Yeah.
He scored both of their runs. Back in the first, it was the stolen base, and then the throw that kind of skirted into the outfield. And Nick George scored the run.
Willie's struggling to get his fastball across the plate. His off-speed pitches are working well, but he can't spot that fastball at the moment. And there you go. He goes back to the changeup and then throws a strike. So just maybe overthrowing a little bit, but seems to be throwing his off-speed pitches a lot better than he is his fastball at the moment. So he might go with that a bit more often than coming hard.
Great look at the replay there. You saw Nick George just get under. It was a quick throw from Landon Hernandez. It had to be perfect. It wasn't quite that, but it was a good enough throw to make a challenge for it.
Yeah, just a little up. I think it was a little bit lower. It might have been a bit more interesting, but good heads-up base running there to score a run.
Nick George plays the game hard. Max Stagg.
Yeah, Willie pitched almost 2 weeks ago against Kenzie's on the Thursday night here, and he threw an awesome game, and I think he almost shut him out for the win. And I think this is the first time he's pitched since, so he's probably lacking a bit of sharpness and a bit of match practice. He was supposed to start against Sturt on the weekend, but obviously the games got washed out.
Big pitch here, 3-2.
And with a runner in scoring position. Stagg up the middle again, doesn't have eyes. It's scooped up by the shortstop, and the play is safe at first. Koki Yanazawa made the play on it, and I think Max Stagg just beat it out.
No, he got called out.
No, he did?
It was a strange kind of call by Payne. It looked like he sort of said he was off the bag, but it looked like maybe it was a punch-out.
I thought that's what he was signaling, that he was off the bag.
Yeah, that's interesting. I actually think he beat that throw, to be honest, but let's have a look here. We'll see it here. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Tough one.
I thought the same, Dunny, but I'll take it.
That was, it looked like he was there.
Yeah, big. Well, it's an out now, so but it's a big out in that sort of situation to pull it up. So 2 out now instead of runners at first and third with 1 out. So it's a big difference, and Nico up now. He's got to do anything he can to try and get another run here to try and keep him in it.
Get this game slammable.
I'm surprised Hardy didn't sort of come out and have a chat and just give Willie a bit of a rest here, but he just keeps going.
Nico Vanderlin in 1 for 2 at the strikeout. He also had the single that helped
Let's have a
load the
look at
bases
this.
in the first.
Oh, yeah. Too close for me to call. Let's say Payne, good call.
Basnoy looking for the throw out over at third. That was a quick release. McGarry sliding back there. Oh no, it's running for catcher now. Shane Allen sliding back. West Torrens certainly needed a couple this inning. They've got one. Can they claw back another? Nope. Vanderland in on a pitch on the inside. Moving into it is Jack Partington. So they get one back. And the Pardo chants are coming down from right field. The Pardo chants. Where are those coming from? That's awesome.
Be interested to see what Willie's pitch count is. I reckon he's thrown a few. He'd be getting up there at the minute, so Geordie's sort of getting loose down there, but it doesn't look like he's ready to come into the game at any sort of time soon. So they may keep going with Willie, but we'll soon see.
So Dom, thanks very much for joining us for these middle innings of the game here. Henley and Grange, thank you so much for putting on this show tonight. MC Sportswear, ALH Group, and Century 21, the three big partners of tonight's show. Dom, what do we got coming around the corner for Henley and Grange? Anything of note over the next, last 6-7 weeks of the regular season?
No, we're just taking it one game at a time. And
Geez, you've been around a long time saying that, mate, eh? Hey, media savvy you are, aren't you? Eh?
One game at a time, and hopefully we'll see the 1s, 2s, and the 3s, and a lot of other teams at the Henley and Grange Baseball Club in the finals. So thanks to you guys for having me tonight, and you guys do a great job with the streams and also the bullpen, which is after this game.
Yep.
So all the best for the rest of the season. Thanks,
mate. Good to see you.
Thanks.
Dom Hodges, the president of Henley and Grange. Very hospitable around here in these parts.
Part of the furniture.
Part of the furniture. I've started my standings now with some magic numbers of what that is for teams to clinch finals. We're getting in clinching scenario.
Really?
Yeah.
Already?
West Torrens, they're at 6, and that's just either 6 wins or Woodville, who's the 7th place team, or losses. You need the combination of those things to happen. So we're talking, 3-4 games from now, we could be talking about teams securing their spot in the big dance. The big dance is that what we call them? Multiple dances?
Well, in the playoffs. The big dance is the big one. Playoffs first. Playoffs first, big dance second.
Dom, we'll bring you back in here. If you don't have presidential duties to attend to, let's have you stick around. It's a fun ball game tonight. Beautiful Tuesday night.
This is the best seat in the house as well, so I don't really want to lose.
No, stay. Ryan Broom pitches off to Wilson Lee. He drives one out towards center field. And a big diving attempt. He trapped the ball on the hop. It's going to be a base hit, but a great diving effort by Nico Vanderland and definitely saved at least a double. Look at this. The MC Sportswear replay.
Yeah, good play there. Picks it up. Saves it to a single. I think Willie was running anywhere anyway. Certainly not the quickest guy on the team.
Liam Bull up to bat. How long's he been at Henley and Grange?
Liam is a great player. He started his career as just like most do, as
T-baller.
T-baller, Pee-wees, juniors, charter, state, and now he's tearing it up with the Giants, which is great to see.
It's probably Liam Bull's 2000th game.
Well, I know I think about a month ago he played his 300th game for Henley Grange Baseball Club, which is
a lot for a guy that's 18, 19 years old.
Exactly right.
Flares one off to the right side. Middle of the lineup coming up. They've got a runner on in Wilson Lee, Bull, Hernandez, and Noy, and then Weber, who's already hit a home run this game. How's the party out in the right field line tonight?
Yeah, I think that's some of the Div 5 and Div 6 boys.
Bay 13.
Yeah, Henley Grange Baseball Club, we at the moment with COVID, we try to spread it and not hang around the bar and inside the club rooms. So we're taking advantage of the hill on a great night.
We had a few of the Henley and Grange boys down in one of the boxes on the weekend for the Giants. Div 6 boys, I think.
Oh, look out.
Hit hard over a leaping play. What a grab. It's a double play.
That's a great play there by Nick George.
Nick George has been aggressive on the base paths, and he just turned it a gem in the field right here. He has probably been West Torrens' best tonight.
Good from the good from above there.
From the drone?
From the drone. How good was that?
So it keeps the base pass empty for Landon Hernandez, who in his last at bat, grand slam, has one right inside here. One of the last broadcasts we did, remember we did that Sturt Henley and Grange game, and Landon Hernandez was the starting pitcher.
Yep.
And he just kept that dangerous Sturt lineup that was red hot at bay, kept him in him long enough. And here's a look at the replay again. Nick George launched himself.
It's a good play, isn't it?
That looks cool. That's a baseball play. Two balls on Hernandez. He fouls it away.
What do we got, about 30 minutes left, Eric?
Yeah, it is 7:28, about 30 minutes left. Another hard hit ball towards center field. Moving back is Nico Vanderland, and that one was hit deep, but not deep enough. So it ends up being a 1-2-3 inning, but in very flashy way. Nick George with a highlight reel catch at shortstop and throws him out. Keeps Henley and Grange in check. It's the first inning they haven't scored on in a few. It's 7-2. We'll be back with the sixth after this. Back here on a beautiful Tuesday night in Adelaide. This ballpark at Henley and Grange, nestled between the river and the water.
And the rivers are full after all the rain we've had on the weekend. We got a little bit of a drenching, didn't we, on the weekend?
We did.
Now the rivers are nice and full of water, and we're out here at Henley on a Tuesday night. It's a beautiful, balmy, Queenslandy type night, isn't it?
Good home run hitting weather, and we've seen two tonight.
Ball flies out a bit.
Ball flying out a bit, almost hit the bullseye. Brought to you by MC Sportswear, ALH Group, and Century 21 and Linda Hart down there in Craigmore. Landon Hernandez, the grand slam. That's the big difference in this game right now.
Yep.
It was bases loaded in the first inning for West Torrens, and they couldn't score any runs. It was bases loaded for Landon Hernandez back in the third inning, and it was a grand slam for Landon. And that is what the big difference is in this 7-2 ball game. Still some time, but not much time.
How's that view there from the drone over the top of the field there? That's awesome.
Eric Ballnar, Michael Dunn, and Dom Hodges calling the action for you here. Our gracious hosts at Henley and Grange at Peter Kemp Ballpark. Leading things off this inning, Mitch Neuenborn. He's 0 for 2. He struck out both times. Wilson Lee, he was sailing up with those strikeouts. He had 6 with the second out in the 4th inning. He hasn't had one since then. We're now into the 6th. 5 walks on the night for Willie. But they've limited the damage. Neuenborn out towards right field. Phil Acosta moves back. He'll settle under it, and he makes the play. 5 more outs and 5 runs to chase for West Torrens. Nathan Vanderland in, up to bat. He's in for Tim Holland.
Running out of outs in a hurry here, West Torrens, so they need to get some runners on and get some hits and move guys over and try and score some runs, or it might be over.
Don't forget, after the game, we've got an episode of In the Bullpen brought to you by Hilltop Office Supplies.
We have. We have to go and get in the phone box and make a quick,
Get some
quick
scores.
clothing change. And
If people have some scores, post them in the comments section below if you're at one of the other grounds and checking in on the game. What's happening at your ground?
around the grounds.
Around the grounds. Maybe we should order a hot dog from Henley Grange for the show. We can do in the first part of the show. We can do a little taste test.
I can gladly organise that for you guys.
We'll give it a score. We need to get a scoring system all created on the fly.
Here's one I prepared earlier. Is that one of those type of things?
Yep. Strikeout though for Wilson Lee. 2 down. We have one other score update. It's Goodwood. They are up 13-0 over East Torrens.
Oh. See, that's an interesting one because that just pushes East Torrens further away from the 6.
Yeah, they entered the game 4 points behind Southern Districts. There's 3 teams on 14 points that are chasing down South, so we're at 18 for that last spot. Golden Grove and Glenelg are still in touch because they've got that game in hand, and they're at 12 and 10. So there still is a possibility, even all the way from 11th in Glenelg, of surging up the standings, but you have to go over a lot of teams to make that happen.
Yeah, so if you are listening and you have got some scores from around the grounds, if you're at other games, please let us know what they are so we can keep the baseball community up to date with what's going on and who's winning which game, so we can work out where people are on the ladder too. It's an important time of the year, so help us out where you can.
Jacob Scott up to bat. And Jacob Scott's aboard. His second time Jacob Scott's walked.
So Hardy's got to be thinking about having a chat here, at least, if nothing else, having a chat.
Well, I would have thought so. I think Rooster's ready to rock and roll down there. So, yeah. With 4 outs remaining in the game, I don't know what's holding him up.
He's struggling now, that fastball. He can't throw his fastball for a strike now, so he's got all those off-speed pitches. He's throwing them okay for strikes, but he can't locate his fastball. He's been out there a long time. As I said, his pitch count must be getting up. That's, again, off-speed. He throws the off-speed pitch for a strike, but he can't seem to throw his fastball for a strike at the moment. So if you're the West Torrens camp, you'd be telling him to sit off-speed if he can't seem to throw that pitch for a strike.
Ryan Broom, the batter. He's right now the pitcher.
There he comes back and throws a good one there.
You'd think this might be Wilson Lee's last inning.
Well, it might be his last hitter.
Yeah, he gets the out, inning over, or he allows the runner on. Rooster comes in.
Yep.
No need, because he gets a strikeout. He's going to finish with likely 8 strikeouts to his name, Wilson Lee. 6 walks sprinkled in there, but he only allows 2 runs, and the Rams have 5 more than that anyways.
And
so,
that's probably, if I was, from a coaching point of view, that's him done. I'd say he's had enough. He's done his job. You bring in Gross now to try and get the last 3 outs and close it out. He's nice and fresh, ready to go. So that would be my call of where they go with it from here. But I'm not Hardy. I don't know what he thinks. So, but that would be something that I'd be looking at here.
Gee, looking around the grounds here, finals baseball would be pretty fun here.
Yeah, totally. Lots of people here.
How's
all
this
for
for the
same
drone
reason.
shot, by the way? Coming out from that target out in the outfield.
That's fantastic.
Is that a little Hernandez wandering around in the outfield?
Maybe.
What a nice ground here at Henley Grange. Dom, how long have you been at Henley Grange? Are you a lifelong Henley Grange?
Yeah, about 40 years.
About 40 years? That's one or two.
Is that all? You sure it's only 40?
We're playing at Peter Kemp Field tonight, and Peter Kemp is probably the first one to start a schoolboys competition in Australia.
Yeah.
And he started that competition for our baseball club. He realised the need to that if our club had a future, you need to go out and grow it at a grassroots level. And I was at Star of the Sea School, and we went around and canvassed about 6 to 8 schools in the area, and I was one of those.
Through Star of the Sea School, that's how you end up.
Yeah, that's right. And we were all mad cricketers, myself and my cousin Graham, and had a hit of baseball and loved it and haven't looked back since. So Henley Grange has been my home away from home for the last 40 years. So.
And I remember when Dom and I played baseball against each other for a long time. And when I was playing against Henley and Grange, they played on the corner of Military Road and
Trimmer Parade.
There.
That's
they used to
right.
play.
Yeah, right.
That was their ground right there on the corner. Yeah.
Yep.
And we used to play Henley there.
Yep. Too many balls were flying over onto Military Road and Trimmer Parade.
I can imagine. It's not a huge piece of grass there.
No, it's not.
It was only a matter of time before someone got hurt, so I think we made the move in the mid to late 1990s to come down here.
Henley, I think they made the move because they didn't like West Torrens hitting all the balls on the road all the time.
Full of it, Danny.
Basnoy, the batter. All Henley and Grange need is to get through this inning and then hold on for the last 3 outs. Again, if you're just joining us, Henley and Grange entered the game 13-4, 26 points. They're 4 points behind first place, and that's West Torrens, and they're 4 points above a slew of teams on 22 points. If Henley win, they stay in touch with the top. If they lose, they fall back to the pack in what would probably become a 4-team race to get that second seed and for sure the double chance. Third, you likely get the double chance, but there's no guarantee.
No, it's not, but it is certainly a high percentage of that happening. So
Basnoy drives it towards center field. Moving back is, and a great catch from Nico Vanderland. Over the shoulder, into the glove, and it's an out on the board.
yeah, he sort of just misread that early. If you pick up this with the replay, he came in and then had to go back on it. You see his first couple of steps, he comes in there and goes, oh, hang on a sec, that's gone over my head, goes back on it and ends up making a really good play.
Doing it for the camera.
Yeah, maybe.
It's a nice catch.
Yeah, he did make a good catch there in the end, which is, a very good catch.
Griff Weber, 1 for 2, had that home run in the second inning that put Henley and Grange up 2-1. If you're unfamiliar in how the finals work here, the top 6 make it. 1 plays 6, 2 plays 5, 3 plays 4. If you win, you advance to the next round, and then the highest seeded loser of the top 6 go through. In many years, that's seed number 4. If the top 3 get the job done, seed number 4 advances to the next round.
Yep, that's exactly right.
However, if one of those top 2 seeds loses, that's when things get a little crazy.
Yeah.
So that's when you're not protected if you're the 3rd seed.
No, that's true.
If you're playing in that 3-4 playoff series, are you just hoping the top 2 seeds just win?
Oh, yeah,
doesn't
you
even
do.
matter.
You obviously
You wanna
want to
hope,
win. You want to win yourself as well. So, but you
Just
don't
control
really,
your own destiny.
Yeah, you don't really think too much about it when you're playing. You just want to keep winning.
Weber jammed just a little bit. He's already got a home run today. Busy out there. The last 3 plays defensively has gone to Vanderland. He fly out that line out, and now another one. It's 2 down. Tyson Arnold coming up to bat.
So I just got a message, Dom, from Phil Burgess. He says to say hello.
How you going, Phil?
He agrees with me about the home runs. No, he doesn't really. I'm only kidding.
Oh,
just-
Phil definitely agrees with you.
He just he messaged to say hello. So we say hello to you, Cyril, and hope you're well and you're enjoying the live action tonight. And Hope you and your family are all okay.
Phil Burgess loves his baseball history as well. He'll love a chat we'll have on in the bullpen tonight about I know it's not a West Torrens one, but the 1972 Grand Final, 50th anniversary, Goodwood versus Port Adelaide, 19-inning game.
Yeah, he would have heard some stories about that one for sure. As a lot of people of that age group have.
Everyone's heard stories about this one. We get to hear more about it tonight.
Well, I think looking at the Facebook feed, I think Phil might have been one of the guys as a junior or something that was actually at that game watching.
It's very possible. Big diving play again from Nick George. This one squeaks through. Tyson Arnold's got 2 hits tonight.
Phil's probably one of those guys too who would have the answer to that question.
The Caps medal question.
Medal, obviously being involved with the history of the SABL. I bet you he'd have an answer for you in 10 minutes if you had a quick look through that book.
Yeah, which club has the most, if you just missed it, that was our question, is which club has the most
Caps
medalists? Not the most Caps medals, Caps medalists.
So if we were just saying if you've had 5, it only counts as 1.
Yeah, Nick Talby a few years ago, won a few years ago with Kensington. He won 3, counts as 1.
Correct.
Just to clarify.
Correct.
Yep, Greg Elkson, 1. Don Rice, 1. So,
but those would add up a lot for your club cumulatively, but yes. Robert Laidlaw could probably answer that question off the top of his head.
Bruce McAvaney of the baseball world, is he?
He's sitting somewhere down the line. Robert?
I can see him right there. I think he's having a hot dog and a bucket of chips.
Oh, he's eating our hot dog, Dom. What's going on?
Don't worry, Donny. I'll get a freshie for you.
Oh, someone sent me a message before, Dunny, you don't need any more hot dogs. It's not very nice of him, is it?
Well, I was going to say that.
Koki Yanazawa chops it foul.
Yeah, Cyril come back, or we call him Cyril. Phil Burgess came back and said, yes, he was 12 years old when that game went on, and he said it finished nearly at midnight.
There you go.
So that's a long day at the park, isn't it? So West Torrens need to get some cheap outs here and then try and score some runs in the top of the 7th, or this one's over, Eric. That's close. That's close.
Not going to get the call. 1-2 count. Ryan Broom's done pretty good job here in cleanup duty. He's allowed just the 1 run. Nathan Vanderlin allowed 6 in his first 3. But Henley haven't really threatened since he's been in. Bobbled at first. It'll be an easy one for McGarry to pick up and step on the bag. So Ryan Broom, a very solid outing. Doesn't really allow Henley and Grange to pull away, but it's still a 5-run deficit to chase. We'll head to the last inning. Rams 7, Eagles 2. Back here at the ballpark at Peter Kemp Ballpark, home of the Henley and Grange Rams. Eric Ballnart, Michael Dunn, and the president of Henley and Grange, Dom Hodges. Dom, thanks so much for having us down here and your whole community for welcoming us here.
It's a pleasure, Eric. As I said, it's a great night for baseball, and to have this stream. We've got a lot of members down at Victor Harbour and all over the place up in Darwin, so for them to be able to tune in and watch a game at Peter Kemp Ballpark, it's absolutely sensational.
Yeah, and here's one for you, Dom. Darren Boyden, all the way from Thailand.
Wow.
All the way from Thailand,
from
tuning
the past.
That's cool.
So, Bear, we say hello to you, mate, and hope you're all well and and your family's all well over in Thailand as well. And that's a long way away to be tuning in. That's great.
Let's pop that graphic back up that we just had of all the sponsors up on board there, because Dom, I feel like, especially compared to, I mean, this is just a lot of this is a lot of partners.
Yeah,
how on
that's
earth
right.
do you find a community that can support this community like
Well,
this?
we're just really blessed and lucky, you know. Electric Results for all your electrical needs. West Lakes Foodland, thanks to Chris Jansen. Bencrete Concrete for all your concreting needs. Ring Ben. We're sitting on this lovely bit of concrete tonight. The City of Charles Sturt donated, I think it was about $70,000 last season, so we're able to get this concreted. Fulham Funerals, we promote them. We just hope you don't have to use them. Also, Enzo's at home. If you're looking for a quick meal, drop down to Foodland or IGA and grab yourself an Enzo's at home meal.
Nick George up to bat. He's arguably been West Torrens' best player today. He had that great defensive play. He's been aggressive on the base paths. He scored their 2 runs. Can he get aboard as the leadoff runner again? That would be the 3rd time if he does it today.
Yeah, well, you know, they're in the right part of the lineup to try and get something going here. So it's an important at bat any way you can to try and get on and give yourselves an opportunity to try and score some runs.
Nick George. Hit over to short. Yanazawa has the throw go wayward. And Nick George is going to get a free bag over towards second.
Just panicked a bit there. Didn't need to rush as quick as he did. He saw the runner was a quick runner, but he still had time to move his feet. Didn't move his feet there, and just airballed it into the crowd. So gives him an opportunity. I'm actually surprised that Willie Lee came back out again, Dom. I thought.
I agree. I thought Geordie was looking hot to trot and would have started this innings, and I thought it would have been a nice little bullpen for him tonight. Going into the next Giant series this weekend. So
totally agree.
I'm really surprised that Wilson's still out there.
So now it makes it interesting. You've got some runners on and Willie's late in the game.
Wilson Lee looking for the pickoff. It was brought in by Yanazawa, but sliding back is Nick George, who, once again, he scored on a soft hit ground ball to second base all the way from second earlier in this game.
Yep, he's got some good wheels and he's making some things happen, which is keeping West Torrens in it.
A Landon Hernandez grand slam is the big difference, as Nick George will scamper to third.
Well, the other thing for Russell to think about here is he's got the McGarry boys in the lineup, which are both lefties. So is he going to stick with Wilson, or is he going to?
Yeah, he probably gets these 2 hitters. To be honest with you, now he gets both the McGarrys, and then if he can't get out of it with those guys, then you probably have to look at making a change.
Yeah.
Tom McGarry, the RBI leader for West Torrens. He's 0 for 2 with a walk in this game.
Because realistically, that run at third doesn't mean a lot right at the minute, so you could probably let that run score, get through the 2 lefties, and then if Geordie needs to come and just get one out, you do that just to knock it off and get the job done.
Actually, just looking down at the bullpen, it's actually Jordan Hodges warming up down there. So
another Geordie.
Another Geordie. So yeah, I'm not sure what Russell's thinking here.
Slapped away from Tom McGarry, staying alive. 20 RBIs on the season. There's a little bit of a vocal crowd out there.
Well, they got the.
That's awesome.
That's Bay 13 down there.
Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 9 for Wilson and Lee, and that's a big one.
Now Russ comes out. This is
Russell actually. It's going to be a slow walk to the mound because on Saturday he actually filled in and played Division 3, and I think I didn't actually see the game, but he did get a base hit, and then the next hitter hit one in the hole, and he tried to run from second to home, and pulled both his hamstrings.
And that's telling you just shouldn't play anymore.
Well, yes, that's right. No, we're seeing Mr. Landon Hernandez. So there you go.
So Landon Hernandez will go from first to the mound, and I'm guessing Wilson Lee will probably go out and play first base.
No, I think Wilson's done. I think James Bell's coming out to play first.
It's interesting moves there, Dom. I would have at least left Willie in to throw against the lefty, and then
warm up Jordy Gross, warm up Jordy Hodges.
Maybe
take the guy for the bench.
Well, my point. I mean, you know, Hardy, he can do what he's like. I'm just talking as a commentator's point of view here. Is that the run at third means nothing in the situation when it's 7-2. So
the only thing I'm thinking is maybe he's hit his pitch count.
Well, that's the only other thing. So.
Because he does have 6 or 7 walks on the day, Wilson Lee. So that does run things up.
Yeah, it would be interesting to find out if that was the reason.
That's a possibility. We can get Game Changer up. We do have some updates from around the ground. After 6, Glenelg lead Port 4-1, and in the top of the 6, Souths beating Golden Grove 5-3. And finished Adelaide beat North 23-1. So that's actually huge. Golden Grove had a golden opportunity tonight. They're at 12 points. Southern Districts on 18. Golden Grove win that game. They have a game in hand on Southern Districts, and they'd only be 4 points back and join the pack. Also a huge game for Southern Districts because they're playing a team that's chasing them to try to just take that fork out there and say, stay away from me.
Well, and it doesn't help, like East Torrens get hammered by by Goodwood, so that keeps East Torrens away as well.
Yep.
So gives Southern Districts another game gap between East Torrens on getting beaten if they can get over the line against Golden Grove.
Glenelg beating Port is huge for Glenelg because they would join the pack at 12 points with Golden Grove, and Glenelg, who started off like 0-8, all of a sudden are 6-11 if they hold on to win that game.
And again, it keeps Port another game away from Southern Districts.
They've had some opportunities, Port, this year. Those whole middle pack teams, whether it be Woodville, East Torrens, Port Adelaide, and Golden Grove, they haven't really been able to make that charge yet. They haven't strung together wins. But there's still lots of time. There's still 12, 13 games left. Flared out towards left field. That goes foul.
Oh, yeah, there's plenty of time for things to still change. That's for sure.
But this is a game that if you're Southern Districts, you're circling this game saying we have to beat the teams that are chasing us.
And so far they're doing that. I don't know what innings that's in, but
6th inning.
If they can hold on, that would be a big win for them.
But there's only 7 minutes left of game time regardless, unless you get some extra innings. Like, remember the last Twilight game, or 2 weeks ago on Twilights? Henley and Grange and Souths. That one went to extra innings.
It did. I was up there, and I think it was around 10-8, and 7 innings complete, and the umpire decided to go again.
Yeah, it was borderline. It was one of the ones that was like right on the line. What do you make, right?
Yeah.
Because 1 minute later, it would have been called.
That's right.
A minute earlier, it's still, was right on that line. Sam McGarry strikes out. Landon Hernandez helps the Rams get back-to-back strikeouts. The first one was from Willie Lee, and now West Torrens down to their final out with Max Stagg, and Nick George is still standing over on third base. Well, on the eve of the public holiday, a great place for Rams fans to come out to the ballpark, and they've been treated to a good one here.
Yeah, it's been a good one from tonight. They've played really well.
It could have gone wayward, and it kind of felt like it might have been going that way right from the hop. Nick George got aboard. He got around and scored. There was an error in there. It was 1-0. Then all of a sudden it was bases loaded, 1 out. As Stagg over towards third, Liam Bull. It's going to have to be a good throw, and it's a great throw. A nice way to end the game for Henley and Grange, who are now just 2 points behind West Torrens for top spot in a pretty complete 7-2 victory. A grand slam to Landon Hernandez, a 2-run shot from Griff Weber, and I'm sure that post-game meal is going to taste pretty good for the Henley and Grange Rams tonight. Dom Hodges?
Yeah, that's right. We've got lamb gyros is cooking, so hopefully if you hang around and have a feed for Australia Day.
And watching the bullpen, Dom.
I'm watching the bullpen, and I'll leave you gentlemen with it because I've got some work to do, and I'll go and organise a couple of hot dogs for you.
Dom,
Thanks,
thank you
mate.
so much for having us, and thank you so much for bringing the stream down here and getting your Rams a victory tonight.
Thank you, guys.
Good work, buddy.
See ya.
See you, mate.
Well, Dunny, like I was saying, this game really could have gone wayward for Henley and Grange, though. They had bases loaded, West Torrens did, with 1 out, and then it was a strikeout to Mitch Neuenborn, and then a little first pitch fly out to Tim Holland. That ended the threat. And then Henley and Grange kind of jumped on it right from there. They had 2 runs in the second, Griff Weber with the home run, and then the grand slam in the third. Henley just took advantage of their opportunities when West Torrens couldn't tonight.
Yeah, that first inning was big in the end where they could only score 1 in the end, so that could have really blown it open early. And then after that, Willie Lee just settled down, did his job, got a lot of outs without many base runners on, just did what he needed to do. And in big situations, they're clutch guys with Griff and Landon Hernandez came up with big hits and scored runs, and it was over from there, really.
Big thanks to ALH Group and Ramsgate Hotel, Exeter Hotel, Henley Hotel, Findon, The Lynx, and Cooper's Alehouse in Jeps Cross, MC Sportswear, and especially Century 21 and Linda Hart out at Craigmore. They're the ones that really got this live stream and broadcast going. Really appreciate that. And if you're a club that wants to bring a broadcast to life down at your park, please get in touch with us. Get in touch with Spacequake Sports, and we can make that happen.
Yeah, we hope you've enjoyed the coverage tonight, and we'll see you soon
now, yeah.
at Golden Grove. Next time at Golden Grove.
We'll see them people even sooner because in about half an hour in the bullpen, special time. We're going to wrap up what we know about the ballpark. We're going to talk to Ron Hawking about the great 1972 game. We'll see you in the bullpen.
See you guys.